Hey y'all, I'm Farika and this is Crow's Closet. On this channel, I tell you all everything I know about being a crazy busy mom, a wife, and a professional while still looking fly. If you are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returner, welcome back, sis. I've missed you. So if you are an OG, it's not been that long. Like, I haven't had a channel for that long, so I don't know how G your old is, but if you are an OG to this channel, then you know I am a thrifter. I love to thrift, and if you've clicked this video, then you might like to thrift too. So if you want to know my top 10 tips to thrifting like a pro, stay tuned. Sorry if I look down, it's just that I needed to keep note because a lot of things you would consider a tip, but I just consider it like that's how I thrift. So I wrote down some notes so I can give you guys some of my tips. Tip number 1 is to have an idea of what you are buying when you go into the thrift store. So if you are new to thrifting, when you walk into the thrift store, it can seem overwhelming because it literally is just rows and rows and rows of racks. And the clothes are not necessarily put in any type of organization based off of size. It is just rows of pants and rows of sweaters and rows of dresses. But if you go in there and you don't have a clue of what you're going in there for, it's going to be very overwhelming. So normally I definitely go in with something in my head of what I'm going in there to get. Like, I might say like this shop is for blazers, or I'm going in for coats because it's getting colder and I need a coat. So like I go in with some type of idea in mind, and it just helps me, it helps to guide me when I'm shopping. It's not necessarily that I'm going to stick in that category and I'm not going to go look anywhere else, but it just helps me to kind of make sense in my head for this shopping trip when I walk into a store that's just like, it's organized in a way for you to just buy certain items or just find certain items. So have an idea of what you're going into the store for. Tip number 2, go thrifting when you have time to look. Thrifting takes time. Like, you're not just gonna walk into the store and buy something that's on the mannequin or buy the whole outfit that's on the mannequin. You have to look. So you need time to look. I always say, go with time and don't bring anybody that doesn't like to thrift because they don't understand why you're taking so long. But thrifting really does take time. You're gonna like look at every item. You're gonna look through every row. It's not in any order by size. So you have to look at each and every item to make sure that you're not missing your size in something. Some of the thrift stores I go to are categorized by size and like whatever category they're in, but most of them are not by size at all. And so you're just like looking through, or it says it's large and it got every size within that area or space. So take your time and look. If you don't have time to take your time and look, do not go thrifting because you're not going to do anything but frustrate yourself because you're going to feel like you didn't find anything. But if you go into a thrift store and you see all those things in there, you should be able to find something if you have time to look. My next tip is to know the shipment day or like the new item day. So every thrift store has a day where they put new items or new stock onto the floor. This is a really easy thing to find out. All you have to do is ask. Just ask. Ask whoever's at the register. Ask whoever's on the floor. What is your shipment date? What date do the items go on the floor? So if their shipment date is Wednesday, the new items usually go on the floor Thursday or starting very late Wednesday. But normally by Thursday morning, you should see new items in the store. So that is the best day to go on because it is not picked through yet. They have new stuff that you haven't seen yet. You can go to the same thrift store every single week and you're going to find new things because they're always putting new items onto the floor. Just ask. Another thing to know is the color of the day. Most thrift stores have a color of the day, and that means on that certain day, a certain color, and that could be a tag, it could be like a little label on the clothes. A certain color is 50% off. I know that sounds crazy, but it's so true. So if you go into a thrift store and normally their pants are $6, if it is yellow and those pair of pants have a yellow tag on them, then those pants are $3 that day. So I shop with intentionalities. If I know the color is yellow, I'm making sure if I pick up 2 items and they look really similar, I am buying the yellow tag because it is going to be 50% off. And I'm going in there for a deal, so I want to get the maximum deal I can get. Know the color of the day. So tip number 5 is to shop in bigger cities. So thrift in bigger cities. If you're from a smaller town and you live closer to a bigger area, thrift in that bigger area because they're going to have more things. They're going to have a bigger variety. They're going to have a size variety. They'll probably have the same item 10 times, but you'll see it in every size. There's just more items in the bigger areas, thrift stores. And my two favorite thrift stores are Goodwill and Salvation Army. There are other thrift stores in my area, but those are my favorite. It just seems like people know to donate more to Goodwill and Salvation Army. So those are the ones I go to. And I love to travel to find thrift stores. I love to go into like really big areas that are not so close to my home to go thrifting, because I figure that if I'm outside of my like geographical area, then the items that are in the thrift store will be different. Like something that I can find up north will be completely different than what I'd find down south. I always go thrifting when I'm on vacation because it's like our climate dictates what we wear and how we wear it. So I can find really cool things when I'm not close to home. Tip number 6, know how the items are priced. So in some thrift stores, all of your pants are going to be one price. All of your sweaters are going to be another price. All of your coats are going to be one price. And then in other thrift stores, all of a certain color tag is a certain price. I know that sounds really weird, but they all price their items differently. So just know how the items are priced when you're shopping so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck. And that's the reason why I go thrifting, is I want to find really cool items that I can spend really cheap on, like really good quality, really good material that I can get for dirt cheap. Tip number 7, try on what you can. If they allow you to try things on, then please try it on. There is no point in buying a bunch of stuff at the thrift store and not being able to keep any of it because you get home and it doesn't fit, or you don't like the fit, or you don't like the color on your skin, or you don't like, try it on and it's not at all like what it looked like on the hanger. There's no point in wasting money in a thrift store because you can't return the stuff. If you can return things, then you shop without trying on. So I always go into the thrift store with a tank top and leggings on, because if their fitting room is closed, I'm going to try the stuff on in the aisles. And right now, a lot of their fitting rooms are closed. So I try everything on if I can. Certain things you just can't try on because it's just like not appropriate for you to try on. Not really not appropriate for you to try on, because I'm not buying anything that, like, I'm not buying underwear, but like that is just like, it's gonna, I'm gonna be doing too much if I'm doing this in the aisle. Like I gotta take my shoes off, my socks off, all that, like then that's doing way too much. But anything that I can try on, I do try on, and mostly that is like dress pants and blazers, sweaters, and some shirts I am able to try on in the store. And I don't get it if I don't like how it fits. And if I'm like really in love with it and I can't try it on, like there's no way for me to try this on, I went in there with jeans for this day, then I bring it home and then I just gift it away if it doesn't fit. But it's not like my whole trip was wasted because I do try on what I can. Tip number 8, do not limit yourself to one section. Do not just shop in the women's section. Go into men's, go into kids. Make sure you check everything. I buy my blazers from men's and women's all the time. In men's, I'm a little bit smaller because a men's blazer is built a little bit different. But sometimes I have to go smaller and I can't close the blazer because it's a men's blazer and it wasn't built to go over breast. And then other times I'm getting like really big sizes or really small sizes. It just depends on how I want the item to fit. So I shop in every single section. I can fit kids' blazers sometimes. You will be surprised. Do not limit yourself to one section. I can fit their coats too. It's crazy. But I shop in every single section because you never know what you're going to find. My next tip is, if it looks old, do not buy it. Do not buy it if it looks old. You're not going into the thrift store and shopping to walk around looking old and frumpy. That is not the point. Okay, that is why people are scared of thrift shopping, because they think that's how they're going to come out looking. Do not perpetuate that. I will not call you a thrifter if that's what you're doing. If it has stains and holes and it's pilly, like I consider pills like the balls that can come on your shirts and sweaters, do not buy it. It just because it's in there doesn't mean you have to buy it. You still want to look good when you leave the thrift store. Like nobody should be able to say, she bought that shirt thrifting, or she bought those pants thrifting. Not that it's anything to be ashamed of, but you shouldn't look like it needs to be given away. It shouldn't come home to you looking like it needs to be given away. I hold everything up and I look for stains, I look for holes, I look for discoloration in like the armpit area or like in the groin area if it's pants. I make sure I'm buying good quality stuff that is in really good condition. Also, do not be afraid of missing buttons. Buttons are really, really, really easy to find. If you have any type of craft store in your area, then you most likely are going to be able to find the matching buttons to something, or something that's very, very, very close. If you look on the inside tag of clothes sometimes, mostly blazers and jackets and sometimes pants, whoever designed the pants or the original seller of the pants will have a button sewn onto the label. That button is not for like nothing. The button was put there for you to replace your button if it ever falls off. So I always look for a button inside somewhere before I go out and look for a matching button. And I'm not afraid at all to buy something that doesn't have a button, because I will put the button on. I'll replace the button. And so that brings me to my last tip. Tip number 10. Tip number 10 is do not be afraid to get something tailored. If you grab something from the thrift store and it's a tad bit too big or a tad bit too long, bring it to your dry cleaners, bring it to your local tailor, and just get it tailored. Like, there's no point at all, to me, in my opinion, in my head, there is no point for you to waste a really good deal on like something dope, like with dope fabric and it's in pristine condition and all of those things, and then you say you didn't get it because they were too long. Or you say like, oh, they're too big up top. No, go get those tailored. Get them tailored, because they're still going to be a dope item when they fit you perfectly, okay? Go get it tailored. Find a tailor. Make them your best friend. Mine is my mom. Hey, mommy, thank you. I love you. Find a tailor, because people miss out all the time on clothes because they like it doesn't fit exactly like how you want it to fit. And that's because it wasn't made with your measurements, all right? So just find a tailor. All right, y'all, so those were my top 10 tips on thrifting. I think I thrift like a professional. I'm sure at this point I'm some type of professional in somebody's head, in somebody's book, because I've been thrifting forever and ever and ever, and I absolutely love to thrift. Let me know in the comment sections if I've missed any tips, if there's something that you do or something that you want to share with everybody about how you thrift, why you thrift, how you find your best deals. Please put it in the comment section. And before you go, do not forget to subscribe to this channel down there, somewhere down there. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on your notification bell so you are aware of when I post. As always, I love y'all and I will see you later. Bye.